Welcome back to Business Breakfast and Bedhead. I actually do these live calls on Instagram. I would love for you to come and hang out with me at them. So if you don't already follow me at Dawn Bradley, DAWNBRADLEY, should have made a song about that. Go follow me there because then you can take part in these live calls and can actually chat with me. But if you can't make them, no sweat. Now they're going to be here. So welcome to Business Breakfast and Bedhead. Buckle up, friend, and let's dive in. I overthink, I overshare, and I overanalyze. So come explore with me as I chat about business, life, and relationships, all through the lens of an anxious creative. If you're caught in emotionally discounting on your clients and you seem to be trapped in it, you're still giving friends and family discounts even though you don't want to be, this is the live to join. Good morning and welcome to Business Breakfast and Bedhead. I'm your host, Dawn Bradley, and I'm so excited to be really rocking some sweet bedhead. It's not too bad. And talk to you about emotionally discounting. I feel like it's an epidemic in our industry a little bit, and it's something that needs to shift and change. And I know you feel trapped by it. I know you feel like, I don't know how I could ever stop giving Aunt Brenda a discount or my cousin Judy. They just seem to expect it and I'm trapped in it. Or you have heard you're too expensive or hairstylists charge too much these days. So you keep discounting, taking $20, $40 off your client's stuff. If that's you, I understand. I see you, and we're going to get into it today. So first things first, I want to say to you, this is a safe space and a judgment-free zone where you can show up real, raw, honest, and vulnerable. We're going to do that together because I share personal stories that are quite vulnerable, and I want to know that I'm safe with you. And so if you can put a 1 in the chat to show me, sorry, I'm trying to hold my coffee and hold my phone and wave to you guys as you join. If you can put a 1 in the chat letting me know that you're a safe person and you're committed to this being a judgment-free zone, that helps me show up better and be able to share better with you, as well as you guys learn that you're safe people to be around with each other. And the next thing I'd love for you guys to do is put your name and where you're tuning in from the world. I don't want to be someone on a screen talking at you. I want to be talking with you. Also, representing Masters of Balayage. I've got their sweet crop top and it is so comfy. Because these lives I do for you to help you grow your business. Yes, I have a business with education, but I know that my purpose on this earth is to help people show up better in their lives, businesses, and relationships. And I do these lives as a courtesy to you, but I can only do them if you participate. It's actually proven neurologically that the more you participate in the chat, the more you actually retain. So hello from Nova Scotia, Halifax. I'm going to be there in a couple weeks. Rochelle, hopefully I'm saying that right. I've never been to Nova Scotia. I've never been to Halifax. I did a report on it in grade 5 and I've always wanted to go, and I'm so excited that I'm going to be there on the 22nd. Sarah from Milwaukee. Hello. We've got Precisions 007 from the UK. I'm so excited for you guys to be here. Danielle just joined. So the one thing I want to ask you guys first is, how many times a week do you think you're emotionally discounting? Just put your number in the chat. How many times a week are you emotionally discounting? And then on average, hello from Nevada, on average, what is the amount that you're discounting by? Hello, Catherine from British Columbia. I love it. So on average, how many times a week do you think you're giving out an emotional discount? And what a dollar amount is the average amount? For me, I was giving out an emotional discount of, on average, it was $20 to $30. And it was almost every single client. Because I felt oh my gosh. Or if I had this number, I'm curious. Okay, so 2 times a week, around 100 pounds, at least a few. So poop. I also had this number in my mind that if my client's price, services went above a certain amount, that they would hate me. And for the longest time, it was over $200. Even if they were buying product or retail, if their service and their retail came over $200, I felt so uncomfortable charging it that I would emotionally discount. So I'm curious, how many times a week are you giving an emotional discount? And what's the average amount that you're discounting? And then what also is that dollar amount? That's a weird filter. That just changed. Also, I want you guys to share, what is that dollar amount that scares you to charge people that when you hit that amount, that's when you emotionally discount? So mine was $200 for the longest time. And I remember before, this was over 10 years ago, if it went over $200, even if they were buying product, I felt
so uncomfortable that I'd always dock $20, $40 off their service, and I wouldn't tell them. And so I want to know for you guys, because it's going to be different for everyone, and I want to remind you guys, there's no shame. We're all in different paths. We're all coming from different places, different backgrounds. Okay, Rochelle is $200 as well. And so I want to share with you guys one little tip that really helped me. And usually this is stuff that I keep inside of my programs. But one thing that that really helped me, and we're going to get more into like peeling back the layers of what's underneath emotionally discounting, because I can give you all the tips, tricks, tools, templates, and scripts, but knowing what to do and doing it are two very different things. And that's how my education and my programs, you probably heard me talking about the policy pathway recently, is different. And right now I'm working through the client magnet workshop or container with people right now. And it's like, you don't need to know what to do. You need to learn how to do it, how to get out of your own way. There's something between knowing what to do and doing it that's stopping you. You're coming up against a brick wall. So I'm going to share with you a little trick to use, but also we're going to talk about building your confidence around your pricing, around charging full price. What's even more terrible when my clients make me feel so guilty. That's something we can come back to, because Danielle, no one can make you feel anything. You choose how you react and respond. I know there's a nuance to that, but truly there's something in you that's feeling guilty when they say something, and we'll talk about it. So this is a tip. Because I used to dock, like I would emotionally discount. I remember a client once buying like 5 or 6 products, which made her bill go way high. And it made me so uncomfortable to tell her the full amount. And I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but then shortly after I adopted reading out line by line what the client was paying for. So your color today is this, your haircut today is this, and then your retail is this. Or this product is this, or this, coming to a grand total. Or I would say your services today are this, your retail today is this, which brings it to a grand total of this. And then that way there was this transparency around what they were paying for, and I felt less guilty. I was feeling really guilty and uncomfortable about charging people because I had a weird money mindset and a weird thing around money, being like, oh my God, especially because as a hairstylist myself, I never paid to get my hair done. I always either had a friend do it or I did it myself. And so because it came naturally to me, because doing hair is something that I love doing and it's easy for me to do, I didn't find the value in paying for it. So therefore I had struggled with seeing the value in people paying me for it. When in reality, let's just blow your mind here for a second. I am going to take my car into a good mechanic with a good reputation, because if I'm going on the highway, I want to make sure the wheels on my car don't fall off, that my brakes work, and that I'm able to confidently and comfortably go down the road. So I'm going to research my mechanic and I'm going to make sure I go to a good one. Now, a mechanic who knows cars is going to be like, why would I pay money for that when I can just do it myself? However, me, who is not a mechanic, sees great value in finding a good mechanic with a good reputation. If that means it costs me more, I'm going to pay it, because my life and the lives of my passengers, my puppies, my boyfriend are really important. And so I find extreme value in going to a mechanic that knows my car make and model, that I can trust, that I know that I'll feel safe and secure with. And if that means paying more, it's worth it to me. But a mechanic might not have that same outlook of getting someone to fix their car because they can do it. And so a lot of times your emotional discounting is coming from a place of not feeling like you have the worth or value around your services, because you personally don't value your services the same way because you're capable of doing them. Make sense? Very smart. Just be transparent with what you did on them. Yeah, that's like a really easy tip. But that's one thing that's going to help. But if you don't develop the skills of confidence, of learning how to confidently communicate things, and usually when you care so much, you get really anxious. And because you get anxious, you don't know things, you kind of just blurt things out because you're like, I don't know how to say it. And your anxiety coming from a place of caring and wanting to come across the right way actually has you coming across the wrong way. And so we need to slow down and calm your nervous system so you're not feeling anxious, so that you can step into confidence when you communicate that, hey, I know I've been giving you a discount for a long time, and this is actually a really hard conversation for me. And maybe you didn't even know that I've been giving you a discount. This is coming to friends and family stuff. I had this DM yesterday. How do you get friends and family off the discount? Hey, I've been giving you a discount without, and I don't even know if you've known it. And I feel a little silly and embarrassed. I got to own it. However, moving forward, I'm fully booked. You've helped me get so fully booked that I'm able and have the demand that I need to start charging everybody the same prices on the same price scale. And so this is hard for me to have this conversation because I care about you and I want to continue to see you. But the reality is, if you want to continue to see me, you'll have to start paying my regular prices. I'm going to still give you the discount I normally give you today because I don't want to take you by surprise. However, moving forward, if you choose to continue to stay, this will be the price point that you'll be paying. Lots of people love that, but still, you can take that script. You can adopt that way of communicating. But if you still don't feel confident in it, if you still are worried about pushback, you're not able to do it. What we need to work on, if you want to get rid of emotional discounting, if you want to get rid of the friends and family discount, is not finding people who respect you, but learning how to respect and love yourself and understand yourself and value yourself and your business enough to know how to compassionately and consciously communicate it to your clients that are going to elicit an understanding response over a combative response. You're so terrified of confrontation that you get anxious, and then your anxiety gets you blurting things out quickly and without kind of thinking, that you actually create the confrontation that you're scared of through your fear. It's actually coming from a place of care that you are actually creating the thing you're scared of. And so we need to take that care and we need to develop the skill of confident communication through your policies, through your pricing, through your schedule changes, through enforcing, so that you stop emotionally discounting, so you stop avoiding implementing or enforcing your cancellation policy, so you stop avoiding your price increase. So you stop discounting people out of fear of conflict and confrontation, and you start showing up with confidence, knowing that people might push back, but you're not insecure about it. So because you know how to communicate clearly with others. If this is landing, put a 1 in the chat. I love this, Dawn. Thanks, Tony. Is this like Tony? It is Tony. Hi, Tony. You guys, Tony, are you still on here? I don't know if you still are. You guys, Tony was my first boss ever out of hair school. She believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I think I showed you guys a picture the other day, and I'm going to bring it up because Tony will remember this version of me. I never used to have the confidence that I used to have, that I have now. And Tony believed in me, and she worked with me on things and made it. I always wanted to be my own boss, but Tony made it too good to leave. True. I can't find this picture now. Oh, here we go. Ready for that? Tony, do you remember this version of me? This is me in 2004 in the salon that I worked at under Tony. And I remember, I'm just going to go off on a tangent here because I want to do a huge, big thank you to Tony for believing in me. I didn't think I was worth much in this life. And I lived that out through overworking myself, marrying the wrong person who treated me like shit, and playing small. And honestly, Tony, you selling the salon, broke my heart. But honestly, it was the best thing that ever happened to me because it pushed me into, it was no longer too good to leave. And it pushed me into wanting to do my own thing. But this version of Dawn did not have confidence. And if we're talking about emotionally discounting or charging prices properly, this version of me didn't know how to do it. But Tony always had my back, you guys. And having a boss that has your back. I remember a client complaining about something. She loved her hair when she left, and then she phoned back and was unhappy, and then I fixed it. And then she went home and her mom said she didn't like it, and she came back, and I remember going to Tony and being I don't know what to do. And her response was, I trust you. I trust you to handle this well. And having a boss be what's the word? Controlling or looking over my shoulder, micromanaging, but just trusting how I dealt with things was the hugest confidence boost. Having people who trust you, believe in you, and see something in you that you don't changed my life. And so, Tony, I just want to say a huge thank you to you. I don't know. I wish I could say this to your face, and I've thought about it so many times, and I've wanted to let you know, you are such a big part of my success in life, not only professionally, but personally. And I remember asking Tony, people always complain to me about bosses of how do I change their mind? Or how do I do this? Or I don't like the way my boss runs their business. And I'm I got really lucky. I remember asking Tony, I was it was a couple of years before this. I think it would probably be in 2002. It would have been in 2003. I wanted to go to Australia for 6 weeks. And I remember asking her, and I thought this was the best response as a boss was she said, okay, well, I don't want to say no, but I'm going to have a chair empty for 6 weeks that's not generating revenue. And I need to be able to pay. I mean, I don't know if this was word for word, but my understanding from the conversation, she was like, she made me aware of like, I want to give you that. However, I'm going to have a chair empty for 6 weeks, not creating revenue, and I need to pay the bills of the business. How can we make this work together? And having someone a boss who was like, how can we make this work, made me go, yeah, oh, like I didn't even understand that. Oh my gosh. And I think I worked extra days, extra nights so that I could take a 6-week vacation. And she didn't slam the door in my face. And it was like the best thing ever. And so honestly, bringing that back to the communication piece, like Tony, you were so good at communicating and helping me as an employee understand your perspective as a boss. And I think those of us that are in these places of emotionally discounting or not charging full price or, hey, Xandra, or fearing how clients are going to respond, it's because we don't know how to communicate well. And we're so scared of how people are going to receive us that we kind of get aggressive as a defense mechanism. And when you show up on the defense, think of it as a soccer game. If you show up and you just go and play on the defensive side, what other choice does the other team have but to come at you offensively? But when you show up with kindness, compassion, and empathy, showing your clients you're not doing something to them or at them, but you're doing it for them, you elicit an understanding response. And so you actually have way more control over, Tony, I'm going to DM you after this. I didn't know your handle, so I'm going to DM you and let's catch up. When you, I don't know what I was saying now. I distracted myself. When you understand that you actually have more control over how your clients respond by how you show up, and when you invest in yourself and in your understanding of how to communicate clearly, which is what I teach inside of my policy pathway, you get the templates, you get the scripts, you get the how-tos, but then we also work through how to show up, because it's not about knowing the exact words to say. Your delivery is important, how you deliver it, the energy behind it. And you need to have adaptability, improvisation, and a regulated nervous system. That's really, really important. If you can't have adaptability, you can't improvise, and you can't have a regulated nervous system, having a conversation with someone is going to be really hard. And I know you get trapped in the running circles in your mind, planning out all the what ifs, the possibilities. If I say this, then they'll say this. And if they say this, then I'll say this. And you get stuck in this planning. You get stuck in this anxiety of trying to predict the future and plan it and control it. When really the secret and the power lies in learning to surrender to knowing that you can't control how someone responds. So you have to develop the skills of adaptability, improvisation, and a regulated nervous system, so that you can't predict how they're going to respond. You can't prepare for every possible outcome, but you can regulate yourself, know how to adapt, and know how to improvise on the spot, making sure that everything you communicate to your client is with kindness, compassion, and empathy. When you stay regulated and when you stay calm, you actually draw people into that calmness. If someone goes off the handles at you, and you stay calm, you bring them back down. Good stuff, dropping gems. Thanks, Vinny. And so I'm curious, what from this so far have you guys, what's been the biggest takeaway so far? What's something that you're going to implement into your own business with talking with your clients? What's been the biggest aha or nugget of wisdom that you've gotten this morning? Because I want to know, you guys, I do these lives for you. I obviously have a business with programs, containers to help you grow your business. But I really want to know how to serve you best. Because this isn't about me, this is about you. This is about helping you. Everything Danielle said. I want specifics. Give me affirmation, give me validation. No, I just want to know what direction to head with this so that I can help you guys the most. And this sunlight's kind of cool, but also kind of annoying me. My dog was up here and I'd show you guys, but he just got off. I have 2 puppies. Also, you guys, I'm going to go sit out here. You see that swing? And sit there and journal after this. I'm so excited. Okay, and if you have any questions about what I just shared, let me know. If you've got a question or a scenario, let me know. I'm here for it. Or you guys are all really quiet and you're listening to this while multitasking and doing something else. which I mean, I do all the time. I always put on my like podcasts or Instagram lives while I'm getting ready or putting on my makeup. I just got on, but I learned in the short time while joining that to remain calm and set the tone. I love that. Stating price of each service, transparency. Transparency is one of my core values. So my core values as a person and as a human is honesty, integrity, transparency. Being taken advantage of by clients, how to create boundaries and emotional pricing was a good help. Oh, I love that. Thank you. I'm also multitasking. I love it. I'm trying to get ready for work. It's been a hell of a week. And so if you guys didn't know, these lives go on my podcast. We're a little bit behind currently of getting them up. But if you ever want to dive into, I'm realizing about myself. I deliver the best education and the best stuff for you when I'm in conversation with you. And so I used to record solo podcasts, but I found it to be extremely draining and exhausting, and I stopped liking it. I love this interaction. I feed off of your energy, and I feed off the interaction and the responses that you guys give me so that I know what's working for you and where to head. And so I always want to know, so we talked about emotional discounting. I talked about it's you have to develop the confidence skill of showing up not on the defense to try to protect yourself, but to show up with confidence, adaptability, improvisation, and a regulated nervous system. And that way you'll be able to navigate through any unpredictable, because I know the reason why you emotionally discount is because you're so scared of an unpredictable response from a client. That fear of that confrontation, that conflict is so terrifying and feels so unsafe that you would rather lose the money than deal with the conflict. When you are in a need, I've shared this. I polled over 1,000 beauty professionals, and on average, they're losing $15,000 a year due to emotional discounts and not enforcing cancellation policies. $15,000 a year, on average. That means some were more, some were less. What would you do with $15,000 more in your pocket at the end of this year? I'm curious. Put it in the comments. What would you do with an extra $15,000 at the end of this year? Pay off debt, go on a vacation, take your kids somewhere, buy some new clothes, get a new car. Like, what would you, and share in the comments, because here's the thing, knowing this, and I share this so much, and knowing it's not enough, because when you're giving that $20 discount, when you're waiving the cancellation fee, what wins in that moment, your nervous system is so terrified of a conflict or a confrontation that you don't give a shit about that $15,000. You go, what's going to keep me safe right now? What feels the safest thing right now? Protecting me from the possibility, because someone confronting you or having a possible conflict makes you feel so unsafe, makes you feel so unworthy that you would rather sabotage your income than deal with it. And I want you to know that I understand. Somewhere along the line, someone has made you feel like shit. You went through something that you didn't deserve to go through. You suffered at the hands of someone else's fight against themselves. And it's made you terrified of something else or someone else confirming your worst fear that you are not worthy of the respect that you desire. You're not worthy of the love that you think that you desire. And so you avoid at all costs any possible scenario with a client, with a friend, with a family member, with a loved one, where they may respond confrontationally, combatively, in a way that would confirm your deep, deep fear and insecurity. Does this land? Put a 2 in the chat. Allie participated. Pay off debt, go on a vacation, and pay off my mom's debt so she can retire. And so the reality is that although you were like, yes, I would take that $15,000 back in a heartbeat, understanding that $20 that you're giving, that $20 discount that you're giving adds up, that cancellation policy you're not enforcing adds up. But the reality is, in that knee-jerk moment, the thing that wins out is your ability to feel safe. And so what we need to do is we need to work through that together and find what's underneath it all and develop the skill of confidence, develop the skill of communication with kindness, compassion, and empathy, so that when you navigate these sticky topics and uncomfortable conversations with your clients, family, and this goes beyond business. I teach business, but this goes beyond business. You can show up with kindness, compassion, and empathy, showing them that you're not doing something to them or at them, but you're doing it for them, which then elicits trust, respect, loyalty, and authority from them. But where you have to start is starting to get out of being addicted to learning and allergic to implementing, and learning to take messy, immediate, imperfect action. And so if you're ready, even though you maybe don't know what to do, that's okay. I'm here. I'm doing a series on this. Your girl's got you. Going live weekday mornings around 8 a.m., 9-ish. I went a little late here. You'll always be able to catch these on the podcast too. The Anxious Creative, if you're not already subscribed wherever you listen to podcasts. But if you're ready and craving that, you're craving to be able to communicate more eloquently, more compassionately, more in a way that elicits an understanding response, in a way that keeps your nervous system calm. If you're ready to have clients feeling like you're taking care of them and you don't want to feel this guilt of feeling like you're slamming a door in their face. If you want to build trust, respect, loyalty, and authority from your clients. If you want to deliver news to them with kindness, compassion, and empathy so that they understand you're not doing something to them or at them, but you're doing it for them. And you want to do it in a way that you courageously take messy, immediate, imperfect action, just put the bomb emoji in the chat. I'm not asking you to commit to anything. I'm not asking you. I just want to know, do you crave this? Do you desire it? Are you ready to go after it? Are you ready to get out of your own way? Are you ready to put the fear aside? Are you ready to step courageously into the future that you want? That's all I'm curious. Because if you are, I want to continue to show up on these lives and give you what you need. I want to continue to help you get there. That's really important. If you're not, I'll find another subject to talk about. Allie says bomb. Yeah, Ashen Nail says bomb. I love that. Make the world pretty. Bomb. I love it. So good. Just the fact that you guys are willing to put that emoji in there, even though it might feel scary, shows me that you're people, you're a big deal, and you can do hard things. Even if you don't believe it or see it right now. You are a big deal. You can do hard things. You're worthy of what you want, the future you crave. You can have what you want. You need to stop looking for everything outside yourself. You need to stop being addicted to learning and allergic to implementing. You need to step into courage and vulnerability. That's where confidence is born. Taking courageous, vulnerable leaps. Meaning being able and willing to be seen failing. I can't find the bomb. I love it. That's so good, Sam. Dynamite. I love it. I was about to start singing the Dynamite song. Okay, well, I'm really excited. If you guys are curious at all about the policy pathway and what's all in it, hit me up. I have just been redoing the sales page for it. And I'm going to be redoing the entire program, and I'm going to be delivering it live in September. And so if you want to get in on that, it's going to be a game changer. Right now I'm working with a container of people on the client magnet. You can still get into that too. If you're like, yeah, I want to work on emotionally discounting policies and stuff, but I also need new clients, start with the client magnet. You need clients before you can work on your policies. You need people paying you first before you can get anything anywhere else. And so the client magnet, you can still join. We're still doing live calls all month. Originally it was only going to be 3 calls, and now it's way more, and I'm actually going to be putting into the group the rest of our calls, live calls and Q&As, so that you can get fully booked. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for showing up. The fact that you show up and you participate shows me you have what it takes. You have a desire to change, be better, and grow. And know that it's not going to come in one day. You can't get to the top of a staircase without taking the first step, then the second step, then the third step. And the magic is in the small, daily, insignificant steps that you take. You are worthy of it. If I can do it, oh my gosh, small town, anxious, shy girl. I did not think I had what it takes to be successful. I thought my dreams were meant for someone more deserving, someone who had who was more confident, who was more outgoing. And then I have people who come to my retreats, which I have a retreat happening in October, it happens in my living room here. That say, I want confidence like you. And I'm like, what? Because I still see that picture of me and that girl who was terrified. It's come with time and practice. It's been a skill I've learned, and I want to help impart that to you, because if I can do it, you can do it. I used to hide behind my mom's leg. I used to make my mom phone my friends' houses to see if they could hang out. I still have phone anxiety a little bit. You can develop the skill. You are worthy. The things that you want and crave are in you for a reason. Please don't not go after them. You are worthy of being paid your full price. You are worthy of being respected And at the end of the day, you're worthy of being respected by yourself first and foremost. Let's learn to love you and show up for you. Then your business, then your clients. All right. Have a wonderful day. I will not be live this weekend, but Monday to Friday, business breakfast in Bedhead. Set your timers. Would you guys appreciate so I have my ambitious and anxious entrepreneurs group here on Instagram. That's like a DM group. I'm curious, would you want me to drop in when I'll be going live and what the topic is in there, or put it on my stories the day before? Just put group or stories. I want to know, or do you prefer not hearing? I could also send out an email. I want to know, would you guys prefer to know the day ahead of time or a week ahead of time? Like, I feel like planning the whole week of lives is too much. That makes me stories. Okay. So this is me letting you guys know that the algorithm is weird. And if you don't always see my stories, it means that, I don't know, the algorithm's doing something. And I don't teach social media for a reason, because I don't play to the algorithm. If you want to know when my lives are happening, I'll start posting in my stories. That means you have to go look at my stories to find out. And then the more you look at my stories, the more my stories will pop up for you, and then you won't miss them. But I don't know how. I'm not going to try and play Jody's in the house. I'm not going to try to play to the algorithm, because that's not my jam. It's not my thing. I don't like doing that. But I'm so excited that you guys came here. Again, if you want to become more confident, you have to get courageous and vulnerable. If you want to start having better success with your clients, you need to develop the skill of confident, compassionate communication, which is born in learning how to be adaptable, how to improvise, and keep a regulated nervous system. I could give you all the template scripts, to-dos, and checklists. Those can be helpful, but if you don't develop the skill of confident, compassionate communication in the moment, rather than trying to pre-plan and get all the what ifs, you need to have the regulated nervous system, the adaptability, the improvisation, and the regulated nervous system, and confidence in order to navigate those situations. And I promise you, the conflict, the confrontation, that fear that you will feel in you will start to go away. That insecurity. And because right now you know that you could be losing $15,000 a year, but in that moment, it doesn't matter, because what your body and your nervous system does is, how am I going to feel safest? I'm not going to enforce the policy. How do I keep feeling safe? I'm going to discount, because the threat of a confrontation or conflict is so great that you would rather sabotage your income than deal with feeling unsafe with someone, with the possibility of someone coming at you. And so that's what I want to help you develop. And I'm really, really excited to be doing this. So I will see you guys back here Monday to talk about more of this. But until then, stay weird, friend. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast and for tuning into Business Breakfast and Bedhead. Like I said, I would love for you to join me live on these over on Instagram. So once again, just look up Dawn Bradley and let's connect. Shoot me a DM, send me a screenshot, tag me in your stories of listening to this or what you took away from this. Those comments, that feedback really makes my day and helps me know that these things are landing and that you want to hear more. I do these lives and I do this podcast for you to help you, and your feedback means the world to me. And if you enjoyed this episode, help me spread the love. Share it with a friend, a coworker, family member, or leave a review, and make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future episodes. Thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you next time. Until then, friend, stay weird.